In today's video, gents, I'm tier ranking some of the most popular men's fragrances on the planet. Starting things off, we're going with everyone's favorite Ambroxan bomb, Sauvage by Dior. Now, because this fragrance is so popular, it's both loved and hated. Hated by the fragrance snobs that, just feel like everyone wears it. Loved by the guys that wear it because they get compliments from the ladies. My thoughts on this? It gets the job done. Seriously, guys, this will get you compliments. As long as you don't overspray, you're not going to cause any headaches. And in a club, you're going to smell like half the guys there. But you know what? This stuff works. So I'm sliding this one in right there at the center. GTG, good to go. Next up on this list, we've got Givenchy Pie. And if I mispronounce that, make sure to go ahead and smash that like button, because you guys know I can't pronounce anything to save my life. Point being is this is a really nice bottle. I had such high hopes for this fragrance. You kind of know where this is going to go. But when I smelt it, way too sweet. And I like sweet fragrances, but this thing was just way too much. I've tried wearing it 3 times. My wife thinks it's too sweet. I think it's too sweet. My daughters think it's too sweet. Now, I know some of you guys are saying, come on, Antonio, it's a great fragrance. I own it. And get some real reviews. Have some other people outside of your family smell it. Well, those are the people that matter to me. And in general, it also matters what you think. For me, this is a no-go, just way too sweet. All right, gents, with this one, I got to slide down into the WOMAC level, which stands for I would use it as a Molotov cocktail. And you're going to find everything I put low on this category is for a certain reason. It's not necessarily because it's a bad fragrance, just not necessarily my cup of tea. Next up, we've got Kenneth Cole Black. And overall, this is a fine fragrance. It's green, it's aromatic, a little bit spicy. My thing with this fragrance is it doesn't last long at all. Relatively inexpensive though. I don't get this to last but more than 3 to 4 hours. I could probably go all curly fragrance and definitely, spray this 25, 50 times. I don't know. For me, it doesn't really stand out. There isn't really anything unique about this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in that second lowest category, the HOFAB, which stands for hold out for something better. Next up, we've got Carolina Herrera's 212, a solid green fragrance that's I love for spring. It's that fresh cut grass, and this is an older fragrance. It's been around a while and it's not talked about much, but this is a solid go-to, relatively easy to find, so you can find some decent prices at discounters. I love this fragrance. Am I going to slip it in that top category there? Nah, but I am going to put it in that second category. Awesome, friggin' awesome. Next up, we've got Davidoff Cool Water. You knew this one was going to be on the list. One of the top 5 selling fragrances in the world for men, and for good reason. Inexpensive, and it punches so high above its leg. Is it worn by a lot of guys? Yes. And I've had some guys overspray this, and you can definitely pick it up. But if you like Green Irish Tweed, you're going to love this at 1/20th of the price, especially if you buy a little bit bigger of a bottle. This thing, it's got longevity. It is just a powerhouse for what it is. The other thing I can knock on it is that it is just simply, it's just so common. Now, am I going to put this in that top category? No, I'm not, because it is too common, but I am going to put it in awesome, friggin' awesome. Next up, you're getting a 2-for-1. We've got Polo Red and Polo Red Extreme. If you haven't tried either, there are differences. This one's going to be darker. It's also going to be stronger. You're going to have more projection. Depending on what you pay for them, you may want to just go with the Extreme. Maybe try this one. This one's been around longer. This is the later release. I will say that both of these are solid fragrances. If you want a sweeter fragrance, especially your discount store, you're able to find these, or you're able to find these in a box store and you can sample it before you buy. Highly recommended. That's why they're on this list, because they simply are available all over the place. That being said, where am I going to rank these fragrances? Unfortunately, I'm going to put them pretty low, into hold out for better. It's not that these are bad fragrances. It's simply that a lot of times they're overpriced for what you're getting. There's a lot of other sweet fragrances that are just a bit better, last longer, project more. But what we're talking about Polo, let's talk about Polo Green. So this one, very popular in the 1980s when it came out, but its popularity has waned. In fact, it's no longer in the top 25 in sales. That being said, that's a great thing, because this was popular possibly with your grandfather, with your father, but here's the thing, a lot of young men are not wearing this fragrance, and I think that this is an opportunity for you. If you're in your 20s, give this a shot. This is a masculine, it's a woody chypre, I think that's how you call it. It's very different from all the other fresh fragrances, from the sweet fragrances out there on the market. You gotta have you gotta have some cojones to pull this thing off, and I think that's a great thing. It's gonna put hair on your chest, and if you like it, you're gonna smell different than all the other guys out there in the club that you're around. You are gonna stand out, and for that reason, I gotta put this up with FG. Yes, Fragrance God. Why am I putting this one up so high? Because if you look around, you can find some great deals and it stands out from the crowd. It's a classic and I personally love it. All right, gents, really quick, interrupting my video because I want to let you know about my project over at Mission Fragrances. This is a new fragrance line I'm coming out with, which is unlike any fragrance line out there. So as I was learning more about fragrances, I'm right-brained. I come from a science background. I kept reading all these studies about how fragrances would affect your mood, how they would affect the way that you saw things. They would keep you more focused. They would actually, loosen you up. They would actually make you more relaxed. And I'm like, what if you could hijack this? Because a lot of us, we put chemicals in our body. I'm not talking about drugs, but I'm talking about simple things like coffee. We're talking, I drink a lot of coffee, but I don't like drinking it in the afternoon because I don't like the way it makes me feel. But what if there were fragrances that would make you more focused, more alert in the afternoon without you having to put something in your body? Or there were fragrances that could actually remind you, you could condition yourself so that you would be more committed to getting done what you want to do. So losing that 40 to 50 pounds that you committed to earlier in this year and you've already dropped off on, what if you could put on a fragrance before you go to the gym that would actually commit you, that actually would remind you that you need to go to the gym? That's what I'm talking about. Fragrances that you could put on that would help you feel better, would help you perform better, and that there's data behind this. You could condition yourself to become the man you know yourself to be with the right fragrance. Well, this is what I'm doing over at Mission Fragrances. If this sounds at all interesting, down in the description of today's video, I'm putting a link over to my early bird list. I'm not going to spam you. I'm going to send you updates whenever we're coming out with this fragrance. That way you get the best deal. You know when we're coming out. We're going to release only a set number, and I want to make sure you're on that list if you're interested. Guys, you're going to be able to save money, because we're going to charge a lot more once it's made public, but this is going to be for the guys that really want to be part of me on this journey. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to update you. I'm going to let you know what's going on. So again, guys, in the description of today's video, click on that link, find out more about Mission Fragrances, sign up for our early bird list. Next up, we've got Terre de Hermes, and I'll admit that it's difficult to find this one on sale, but when you do, jump on it. A solid fragrance. This is going to be woody. It's a bit aromatic. This is a fragrance that's hard to describe. It's a masterpiece, in my opinion, because of that opening, that dirty, like orange. Again, it's one of those fragrances that flies under the radar. And I know so many of you guys, you don't want something over the top. You don't want something that is super sweet, but you want something that's going to get you compliments. Something that when women walk by, they're going to be, wow, what are you wearing? And this is one of those fragrances. And so many guys don't know about it. So for that reason, I got to put it up there in the top category, Fragrance God. Next up, we've got Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. And I have to admit, I fell in love with this fragrance when I first got it. It was my first Tom Ford, and I would overspray this. I remember I got in a car one time with Aaron Marino, and he's like, oh my gosh, you smell like a French horn. He almost kicked me. Yeah, it was, point being, is that this one you can easily overpower the people you're around with. And it's a very unique, strong, the tobacco vanilla. I never thought of a combination. Who would have thought a combination like that would work so well? Yet, as time's gone on, I've realized that this is a good fragrance, but it's not, everything maybe it's cracked up to be. But I do feel it's overpriced. I feel in some ways maybe it can be overplayed. It's a solid fragrance, but I got to put it in that center category, good to go. Next up, I've got Sean John's Unforgivable. And a lot of people love this because they compare it to Millésime Imperial by Creed, which is a very expensive fragrance. And this one, they said, they're very similar, and go grab this. So I went and grabbed it, and it turned out really well. But then I went and did all these reviews, and you start seeing that apparently this company's been resold many times, and a lot of the stuff they're putting out doesn't smell anything like that. So that's my issue with this fragrance. The one I got, I think that it smells similar to Millésime Imperial, but I wouldn't say that. I would never confuse the two. This one definitely is dirtier. It's a bit heavier. Overall, a nice fragrance. But my issue with this one is that the company's been resold, and it seems like the reformulations, again, I got to smell another one, and it did not smell the same. So for inconsistency, yeah, I got to move this down into that lowest level. Now, if you disagree and you've got a good bottle of Unforgivable or a bad bottle, I want to hear from you guys down in the comments. I'm genuinely interested in what your thoughts are. Next up, we've got Azarro Chrome. If you've been into Walmart, if you've been to Sam's, you've seen this one. This is one of the top sellers out there, and for good reason. It gets the job done. It's got some strength to it, and for the summer, a lot of people this is something they see, it looks good, and they put it on their shelf and they wear it. For some guys, it works out great. For me, I do smell the synthetic notes, and I feel there's some better options out there. So for that reason, I've got to put it down into hold out for better. So what would I recommend? Instead of Azarro Chrome, Versace Manna Fresh. Not as easy to find, but this thing right here is a masterpiece. Amazing. For the price you pay, longevity, yes, could be improved, but everything else about this, it's not overly complicated. It's a great summer fragrance, something that I personally just love it. And so for that reason, guys, I've got to put it up here into Fragrance God, just a solid fragrance. All right, Jen, so a lot of fragrances I did not cover in this video. Should I make a part 2? Let me know down in the comments. And if you like my tier rankings, check out this video where I tier rank military uniforms around the world. Yes, I'm kind of biased to the United States, but I do get around and I look at some of those other uniforms. I had a lot of fun with this one. So if you're into this kind of stuff, check it out, guys, and my rankings, which are incredibly biased. Find out what I said in this video. Again, I'm going to hold it up here until you click.